Hello, everyone. My name is Shelly Lynn Hughes, and I am the founder of Pursuit 365 Community, as well as the publisher of our books. I am also the host of our Talk Wednesdays, which happen every Wednesday. I interview an incredible human being that is part of our community. And today I am really excited to be speaking with Marshall. Marshall is first and foremost a husband and father of two young adults. Over the past 35 years, he has started and led several small businesses and published his first book in 2009 titled Now This is the Time, The Stern Truth on Growing a Business in Any Economy. In 2011, he partnered with leadership expert John C. Maxwell and became one of his certified leadership coaches, speakers, and teachers. Today, Marshall is the CEO and founder of Marshall Stern Leadership, a leadership training and coaching company. He is passionate about building business owners to elevate their business and empower their life. So everyone, I would like to give a warm welcome to Marshall Stern. Welcome, Marshall.
Thank you. No, it's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. I should have put my glasses on. I stumped a little bit there, but I completely forgot.
No problem. No problem.
So welcome. I'm so happy that you're a part of our Pursuit 365 community. You have a very extensive background. I mean, working with John C. Maxwell is pretty incredible. And so tell us, first of all, you're in Vancouver, correct? Vancouver,
Yes.
BC, Canada?
Yes, correct.
And how long have you been here?
35 years.
35. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And you're adult?
I moved here when I was one. No.
Oh, well, of course. Well, you don't look a day older than 29. So.
Yeah. No, yeah. 35 years. Yeah. And I have two adult children. So 21 and 19.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you're doing that. And then you got involved with, like, I always like to know how and why people got involved in the businesses that they're in. So, you've got a loving wife, you've got loving children, you're living a really great life. You're a leadership coach. How did you get involved to what you're doing right now?
It's a great question. It was, with John Maxwell, who's incredible. I'd followed him for a while. So I had another business at the time. I had a sign and graphics printing business in Burnaby, BC. Had that since 94. And now I'm really aging myself. And I bumped into John, not bumped into, but his books, his teachings, and just fell in love with the philosophy on leadership. And opportunity came up in 2011 to join his team. And I didn't know where it was going to take me, but I knew I'd be a better leader for it. And here I am now. I ended up opening up a coaching leadership training company, and I've been doing that. And I just sold my other company, my sign company, 6 months ago, 6.5 months ago.
Congratulations. That's always nice to sell something that you've put your hard work into.
Yeah, it was 2023 was the year of change for me. I went into it knowing I was going to sell the business. That was my intention, but it was a big change because I got rid of that, which was my baby. And then my youngest, my baby moved to Kingston, Ontario to go to university, go to Queen's. So it was a big change for me in 2023. All good changes though.
All good changes. I mean, yeah, first of all, to build a company up, how many years did you own that one, the printing?
29 years.
Okay, so you worked on that for 29 years, and then and your child goes to Queen's University, two major success stories, and to be something to be really proud of. So congratulations on that. That's incredible.
Thank you. And I had businesses before that one that failed, one that was gave me a lot of experience when I through school. So I've had successes, I've had failures, but the failures have led to these successes for sure.
Well, that's exactly it, right? Like I'm that person that fully believes that if we're not failing at things, then we're not going to be that successful. Yeah. And I don't even consider it really failing. I considering it guiding us. Yeah. Those failures are guiding us to the path to where what we're supposed to be on. So if that path is not working, let's take another one.
100%. And actually, I agree. And if we're not failing, I believe we're not trying hard enough.
We're not trying hard enough.
So
exactly.
John has a book, Failing Forward. Even if, there's lots of books on it, but seriously, like failing is, as long as we take it as a lesson and learn from it, then it's not really failing.
Then it's not really failing. So then that helped you get on the path of your full-time career right now.
Mhm.
And also, did you, with those failures of your books, of your businesses, was that before 2009, of which your book came out, or after?
I would say the book actually could also be a failure in a way, which I can get into. But it was well, it was well before. It was actually in before I started my first the business that I had for 29 years. So through college, so I had a landscaping business through high school, which was just a
Mhm,
fun summer. I was an entrepreneur all my life, and I didn't want to
mhm.
work for someone else. So I just started my own landscaping business, made my own hours. A second year in, I hired a staff, so I didn't have to actually do the work.
Yeah.
I could enjoy the summer, and then the business that really failed was in university or college at BCIT. My second year in the summer, decided, actually May, I decided to start a T-shirt company, an environmental, like with cartoons, like caricatures with sayings, environmental sayings. Now this is 1990. This is 1990. The environment really
Cool.
was, so that's kind of before, but it failed miserably because I went to all these retail stores with these T-shirts, 50-50 poly cotton T-shirts. I had 2,000 shirts printed up. That was the minimum I could get. Or
Yeah.
sorry, 2,500 of each design. There was 4 designs. I
Oh my
went to
gosh.
these retailers in May on Robson Street, on Broadway and Granville, trying to sell this. And they all laughed at me. Like at first 2 laughed, and not laughed, but they just said, "I'm sorry, but like our buying season for the spring was like 6 months ago.
Exactly.
So do your research." That was my lesson.
Well, that is a lesson, do your research. But on the other hand, now, if let's just say you wanted to get into the clothing industry,
Yeah.
you would know, right? Like you
Yeah.
would know. There's these things we don't know.
Yeah. I was just, oh, let's just try this. Let's have fun. And, but it was expensive, but a valuable learning experience for me.
So expensive but valuable, but did you end up selling some?
I sold one. I sold
One out of
one.
all of them?
So not to a retailer.
Oh,
It was too late. So I set up, I was trying to be resourceful, as Tony Robbins says. We might not have the resources, but we can be resourceful.
yeah.
So I bought a booth at if you're familiar with the flea market, Vancouver Flea Market on
Yeah, my daughter
Terminal.
was just there this weekend. I just picked
I,
her up from there.
I can't believe it's still there. That's expensive land. But anyways, I bought $9 a day. I sat there for 2 days. And on the second day, a German tourist came in and bought one of my shirts.
Oh my God. Oh, Marshall,
So
what a lesson.
yeah. And I kept the shirts. They're in a box in my garage. I keep them as my reminder.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wonder, now I'm dying to see them.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll dig
I'm
it out one of
dying to
these
see
days.
them.
Yeah. They were
Then we could
cute.
do something with them.
They,
You and I are pretty resourceful. Let's
yeah.
do something with them.
Well, and
Uh,
the other thing on the research part, or knowing your market and knowing your product, actually, really was that.
mhm.
So it's 50-50. So polycotton, big mistake.
Yeah.
The men's large, first of all, could probably fit like a child, and if you washed it, it would fit a toddler. It was a huge mistake.
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
that's so funny. Okay, so then from there you go, you write your book,
Yep.
you've sold your company, and now I'm you one-on-one coaching, leadership courses. But is it mostly one-on-one, or do you do group ones, group settings?
So I do both, and I love both. So I do one-on-one. Obviously, my time is limited, so I only do a small number of one-on-one clients. And I
Mhm.
have a group program we launched in the fall called Momentum, which is like a membership group,
Oh,
and
nice.
we meet 3 times a week virtually, and 3 times a week. That'd be a lot. 3 times a month virtually, and it's all about accountability, coaching, mentoring. There's training modules, Facebook group, private group. It's all for
Okay.
all small business owners, entrepreneurs.
All small business owners. And are they mostly local, or do you have them from all over the world?
No, they're all over. We've had some visit from Europe. I have 2 members in there that are in the U.S.
Okay.
And the rest are from Canada, coast to coast, Nova Scotia to Victoria.
Mhm. Now, do you find, like, I find with us now, having, members from, I think we're in 6 countries now,
Mhm.
doing like some events or doing some things, or even just getting the edits back from people. Do you find that that sometimes when you're putting on your mastermind circles or your network or your courses, I
Yeah.
guess, that it's hard with the time change? Because I find with me right now with the time change, like when I'm working with people in New Zealand or even Mexico, that the timing is sometimes hard to get us all at a sweet spot.
Absolutely. In fact, actually, I started, my group is on Wednesdays at 11 Pacific time.
Okay.
And then I had a few people overseas, one who lives in Vancouver half the time, but in the Philippines, the other half. He's 11 a.m. in Vancouver is like 3 in the morning in the Philippines. So that doesn't work. So I decided, I'm going to launch an evening one, which we're starting next week. And
Oh,
then
so you got two of them now to accompany for your worldwide members. That's smart.
yeah, and there's some people who are in the group still have a job full time, and their business is on the side, so they prefer to do it after hours.
So did you find when you were doing, because just selling the printing company and then doing the leadership program, I mean, let's face it, being an entrepreneur or a coach or, sometimes we do have to have, I mean, I've got my hands in a few different things. Did you keep the business? Like, did you keep it because it just wasn't the time to sell yet? You love doing it? Or, being an entrepreneur, we kind of have our hands in a few different. Right.
Yeah. So actually, I loved the business, my signing business. I moved on from it because it was time. It was time for someone else. The person I sold it to, I was intentional. I went to them. I met with them. I've known them for a long time. And I knew he would take it to the next level. I had taken it. One of the things that like John Maxwell talks about is like your leadership lid. And my lid, I had hit my lid with that company. And my passion really was now serving and helping other business owners, but owning that business made me a better coach.
Absolutely, because you've experienced it. Yeah, how can you be a coach when you've never really if you've never owned a business and you don't know, right? So very good on you for that, and knowing when to get out and knowing when to let someone else take it to the next level.
Yeah. So yeah, no, exactly. And in fact, I'm still involved with the sale, like with the transition of my clients over to the new company. It's been 6 months, but I'm still part of it. I wanted to be part of it for a year. And that's actually made me even probably better at what I'm doing for myself, my own growth, because I'm seeing it now from the inside of another company and what they do compared to what I did. So I'm seeing sort of the back end of the same industry, how my customers are treated, the different styles, and it's actually been quite the eye opener, which I never thought it would be, as to how.
So as a business, yeah, I'm sure it would be, but as a business owner, right, like a company that is, has a storefront and clients from all over the Lower Mainland or BC, I would say, and then also being a leadership coach. What would you say? What would you say is one of your recommendations for someone that is wanting to, as a leadership person and a coach, and someone to sell their company? Like, do you have a recommendation? Like, did you go somewhere and say, hey, to a company, say, I want to sell this, or did you just ask friends, or did you network? How did you go about selling that company? And I mean recommendations as the two hats that you've worn.
Right. Well, the first thing, I mean, you have to look at. We all should have an exit strategy. Even if we don't want to sell our business, we should build our business to the point where it can be sold or sellable. But I went to my accountant. I wasn't going to hire a business broker unless I needed to, but I spoke to my accountant in their mergers acquisitions department. So I highly recommend you do something like that. And they gave me some ideas. And I just simply went to, because I've been in this industry for so long, I knew so many people. I knew the best, and they said the same thing. You'll get the best value, and it makes most sense to sell it to someone in the industry rather than someone who wants to buy a business, like just out of the blue. And that's what I did, because I didn't own my property. I was leasing. So I basically went to probably my top competitor, and I said, let's do something here. And it took about 4 or 5 months to hammer out a deal, and we did.
So thought outside of the box and learn to collaborate, work together.
And
if you're taking a chance, like you're actually taking a bit of a chance going to your biggest competitor. But on the other hand, as a person who I am so love collaborations and working with people that would consider myself, that outsiders would consider myself as competition. Because I always think business, there's something for all of us. It's like love.
Yeah.
it's infinity. Like we can build those and help all companies out, right? Like, just, yeah. So I love that you did that, because some people would think that was a risky decision.
Oh yeah, but you know what? I think I'm a good judge of character, and I knew this person for 26 years. He started just a
Nice.
few years after I did in the industry, and I respected him. I went to two different companies that I respected, but this one seemed like the right fit. It had to feel right to me, because this is, like I said at the beginning, it was my baby, and I could have
Oh,
just sold it for the biggest dollar and just walked away and never seen it again. But I had staff that I absolutely love, and I wanted to make sure they were taken care of. So they all came over to the new company because we shut down our location because they had the big space, and everyone moved over there. And it just made sense. It was like my old company never missed a beat. And I wanted to do it for my customers as well. I didn't want to have this whole sale. So I treated it as a merger at the
I
beginning.
love that. That's beautiful. And that's the way it should be. I've actually got the next book after this one coming out. This one's only in the United States, but it's called The Power of Humanity and Business.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited about it because I want to be telling these stories of people like you, business owners like you, entrepreneurs like you, that actually care about the people that are their customers, that care about the environment, that care about like you said, the merger, working with someone that you respect. And business does not have to be ugly, and we can make changes in the world. So I love that you actually cared and respected your competitor,
Yeah.
and cared about your customers after you were gone. I love that.
Well, thank you. And you know what? I mean, people are everything, and relationships are everything. I mean, you can make a big, quick buck and be cutthroat, and a lot of people are, and they're living, wherever they are, in big castles, big ships, big yachts, whatever. And if they're sleeping at night, that's fine, but that's not for me, right? I wanted to make sure everyone was taken care of,
That's
and so yeah.
Yeah, I just heard we've got Brian Cuban in our book, who's a lawyer out of Pittsburgh, I believe. And his brother's Mark Cuban, who owns the Maverick. So,
Mhm.
but he just sold the company. I just read
Yeah,
this the other day, and he helped out all his employees before he left.
yeah.
And I thought, oh my goodness, isn't that amazing? Like those are the people that are making a difference in this world.
Well, and then you have, and if you're a Tesla fan and a Elon Musk fan, that's great, that's fine. But then there's Elon Musk who walks into Twitter and gets rid of all these people, and it's just, but like numbers.
It's just numbers. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's just
Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, it's interesting how the world is. But that's why I want to do what I want to do is really you know, sharing those people and companies that are making a difference, like what you did. You just made sure, right? That's a story, right? In itself, where let's care about our fellow human beings, right?
Well, but even during the pandemic, when March, whatever it was, 11th, 12th, whatever it was, happened, um, my wife and some friends said, "You've got to get rid of your stuff. Like, the world shut down, and you have to get
Oh,
rid of your stuff." And I said, "I can't." I said, "I'm not going to. I
mhm.
absolutely love them. They're good at what they do. I know how hard it is finding good people." And I said, "The government's talking about they're going to do something. We thought that back then it was going to be 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. This pandemic, right? It ended up being 2 years, but or longer. But so I waited and I made it work. We never shut down. We altered our hours for a while, and I'm glad I did. I actually hired people during the pandemic because they were available.
Wow, that's good for you. That's
Right.
amazing.
So yeah, you have to take care of the people around you.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so now you're full time doing the leadership. You're working with people from all over the world. You're in my next book, which is coming out in the next few weeks, which I
Very
love
soon.
that. 365 entrepreneurs from around the world sharing 365 words of business advice. Now, with you, so I take it this is kind of well, not kind of, it is your full-time, career right now, or business, which is wonderful. And I love it. Leadership is amazing. Coaching is amazing. But are you going to stick here for a bit, or do you have are you going to write another book other than co-authoring with us? But what do you have in the works that's coming up that you're excited about? It might even be just you excited about the people that you're working with.
Yeah, I'm always excited about the people I work with, and if I'm not, I don't work with them because they can find someone else who will be excited about working with them.
Exactly.
Um, but no, it's really just taking this business. My momentum, my group program, the membership program is kind of my new baby, and I love the 101, but obviously the 101 is limiting for the amount of clients I could take.
Yeah.
And so momentum is my baby. That's what I want to grow. I want to just basically reach as many entrepreneurs, small business owners that I can, bring them into it and help them sort of achieve what they really truly want to achieve.
So I imagine with you, a lot of your customer base comes from word of mouth and just someone you're working with tells someone else and says, "Hey, Marshall's Stern's incredible. You got to come work with them," right? Like, is that the way that you normally?
Yeah, a lot of it comes like through Facebook, social media, but yeah, usually through referrals and then people just and
Mhm.
visibility being online because
Absolutely.
it's you and I know. I mean, it's very crowded out there, very noisy, and you have people pulling you or experts pulling you in different spaces. You should go here. You should go here. You should go on TikTok. You should do this. There was that app. What was the one that came out last year or 2 years ago? The newest one.
Mm,
The speaking, the talking. I don't remember what it's called now. It was a
I
huge
don't
thing
even,
for like a month or 2 months, and everybody wanted a code to
there you
get
go.
it.
I don't even know.
You know,
Mm.
but it's just I love speaking. I love just doing this one on one, just connecting with people and being interested in them and seeing what they're all about and what their dreams are.
So just the momentum growing it because you could
Mhm.
host more of the group ones if you wanted.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So more of that, and just taking the business to the next stage now that I have
Now you
a
have more time.
little more time.
We have more time for two reasons. The other business is gone, and one of your sons is now sons,
Yes,
right?
yes.
He's in university, so you're not driving him around to different things.
No, I spent half my the first semester because he moved in September. I spent half my time on my phone looking find my son, find out
Oh,
where he was, making sure he was okay.
oh,
But
what's he majoring in?
kinesiology,
Oh, cool. Oh, that's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Good for him.
And then my other daughter's here studying to be a teacher.
Oh, cool. That's amazing too. So
Yeah,
two great careers, great career choices.
yeah.
They didn't want to go in the well, I guess kinesiology. Well, I guess they could in their own way, but I guess they didn't want to go the entrepreneur route like dad.
My
Or
daughter
mom.
is an entrepreneur. My daughter actually started. I don't know if you're familiar with slime.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my daughter has been sliming. I guess I don't know, sliming. Sounds weird. She's been a slimer for probably 8 years, 9 years, and
Holy.
she's has a little business. She's hosted her own events. She's got the entrepreneurial spirit,
Oh, I love
and
it.
I've said to her, if you don't really enjoy being in the classroom, you can start your own tutoring company or your own Orton Gillingham company. Like you can do your own thing. And my son, the same thing. If he doesn't
Absolutely. Yeah.
have his own, he has this vision of holistic sort of a 360-degree clinic. Maybe one day having.
Oh, that's
So
super cool.
we'll
Yeah,
see.
my 17-year-old, she wants nothing to do with entrepreneurship. She's like, I just need a job. I'm good with that. Whereas my other one's only 8. So
Yeah,
she doesn't
yeah.
even know what she just wants to play with slime right now. So
She wants to play with slime. Yeah.
and have her little she does in the summer, she likes to sell her little bracelets and her jewelry or lemonade stand. So that's her
That's
entrepreneurship.
that's how I started. I did some lemonade stands too.
They were
And
fun, weren't they?
they were fun. Yeah.
Hey,
They
she
were
made
fun.
like $30 one day. I was like, you need
I
to do this
know.
every day.
Yeah.
That's great. So now with you, so you're going to do that, and then what about? Do you plan to stay in Canada, or do you plan to staying here?
I love it here. I'd like to travel more. So
Mhm.
that'll be in the plans and maybe even, working remotely for a few months.
Mhm.
We have a dog here. And so we have to make sure that she's okay because she's a bit of a princess. She doesn't like to be boarded anymore.
Mhm.
So we would have to make sure she's taken care of. But I could, working remote, going to Mexico or, we have a timeshare in Palm Springs, going down there more often and traveling to Europe as well.
Mhm.
Because all this stuff, I mean, everything we know through the pandemic, almost everything can be remote now, especially
Yeah,
my industry.
almost. Unless we have puppies. I have a Chihuahua as well, and I'm surprised he has not barked one time since. But I closed the windows. We couldn't see anyone walking by.
It's very good. We have a half Chihuahua. She's half Chihuahua, half Dachshund.
Oh my
So
gosh, so
so
sweet.
imagine a guard dog on steroids. like stubborn, barky, like loud. Yeah.
Oh my
Protective.
gosh, that's so cute. I know. And then we tell them to be quiet when they're trying to protect us.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. So do you do any like short little, how would I say, like right now, if you were to say, like when you first meet someone and find out about their business and okay, what is the kind of interviews that you ask them to find out what they need? Do you send like a worksheet over for them to fill out? Do you do an hour or half hour long interview? How do you go about doing that? Because it's really, maybe 4 years ago, I went to one of my girlfriends and more of a business person that I worked with. And I said, hey, I want you to coach me. And then we went through everything. She's like, you don't need my coaching, Shelly. You need a mentor, but you don't need coaching. And so I've got a mentor now, which she's amazing.
Yeah.
She wrote the foreword in my first book, and Dr. Ann Kaplan Mulholland, and she's incredible. She owned iFinance Canada for years. So I do have a mentor, but that's my friend with the coach. And she's like, no, either I'm not the right one for you after we did the interview, or you don't need it. So I personally feel that everyone could do well with a coach. Just like the top athletes in the world have coaches, right? Like they've all have coaches. So how do you go about knowing that it'll work well with the business or entrepreneur coming to you?
So it's a great question. I mean, most of the time, so yeah, I offer, like most people do, a strategy clarity session. Usually,
that's the word for it.
That's the word. Usually, it's like one of the things I do an energy audit with my clients or my people I meet. So make sure they're focusing on the right activities and the ones that energize them and doesn't drain them. So I do that, and then it's just a matter. It has to be a fit. Like I'm really passionate about people who have a dream or a vision, and for their business and their life, and they really want to achieve it. Like they're passionate about it, but they just need maybe it's a kick in the, they just need some guidance. But if you don't have a vision, if you don't know what you want, I'm probably not the one for you. But if you are, but I have certain must-haves. So family is really important to me. Somebody wants to be a workaholic and ignore their family. I'm not the right one for you.
Yeah.
So there's certain things. It has must-haves.
Must-haves for you to know that it's going to work. For
me to know that it's going to work, and the other way as well, for sure. But it has to be a connection.
Well, I imagine like there's got to be that you got to be able to respect them, right? And you got to be able to believe in what they're doing. So I think you and I are huge family people. So the thing is that the family for mental health and emotional health, physical health, family is just as important as the financial health. So if they're not doing any of that, then how can you work with someone, because they're not going to get at that level of success because they're lacking in that one area of their life.
Exactly. And I love working with the people like yourself, like the heart-centered, heart-driven people, entrepreneurs. And I would say 80% of my clients are women. And people are surprised by that.
Yeah, with your 80% are women, as a man that's a coach.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Like, why? I mean, I can have my ideas, but they're probably completely wrong. So why, as a man, do you think that?
So why do you think?
I think women are more open to receiving help from others. And I don't think we have that same masculine, I can do it on my own sort of. We run our, homes more like a village, as opposed to men are more, right. So that's kind of why I think, and I think more women these days are realizing their power within them, but they also realize the power in numbers. And I think sometimes men, just by the different nature of our, internal, right, mind and hormones and everything, are more wanting to do it on their own, be more of the hero and do it on their own. Whereas I think I might be completely wrong, but
I agree 100%. 100%. Men are from Mars, men are from Mars and women are from Venus, men are from Venus, women are from whatever it was, that book. We're very different, right? And men are very much stereotypically here. I don't, I don't need, I can figure it out. I don't need a map. I don't need a
I can
map.
figure it out. Yeah.
I can figure it out, right? I'll do it myself.
Whereas I think you and I both agree, if we can get more into our masculine, feminine traits on both sides, like I love to see a strong woman, but I also love to see like a strong in quotations, but I also love a man that's like, you know what, like I don't mind getting into my feminine energy here. And
well, and those are my male clients that I have. They have that sort of that side to them, and they're more in touch with their emotions. And when I started out, I thought I'd be coaching, mentoring more father entrepreneurs who were fathers, and I would help them sort of see the light and not work 24/7 and spend more time with their family. That's what was my initial reason for going to the coaching. And it just ended up as I ended up working with women. They seem to get it more. And I guess it's more heart-centered. I mean, there are a lot of men that are as well.
yeah, for sure.
But and then there are some women who aren't. There are some women who just like, so.
Yeah, it's just a little bit less on each side, but I find the people that I get along with the most, and that are usually the most successful, are the ones that are balanced between those two traits. So really, yeah, they're balanced between, they're not more one or the other, maybe slightly more than the other, but a balance between the two. And I mean, like I'll use a very woman example would be like Oprah, super strong woman, but also is, very emotional and feminine, right? But she's a strong woman. So I don't know. I love people like that are balanced between the two. So John C. Maxwell, have you met him?
I have met him. Yes. He's an
Is
amazing
he as
man.
cool as his books in person? I bet he is.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. And do you go speak for him sometimes, or is it just locally? Because I imagine he sends you people being part of his program.
Yeah, I've actually, I did at the beginning. I kind of distanced myself a little bit from that, whether that was the right thing at the time or not. I want to make it my own. I didn't want to be a John Maxwell coach, although that's what the certification was. I took him more from my own training, and I use I'm based in his philosophy, really leadership philosophy, because it's still amazing. But no, I don't. I haven't seen him in a long time, like live or in person.
Yeah.
But I use his trainings all the time and my own. Yeah.
And so what do you have coming up that our followers, our members, people that are watching, what do you have coming up that might be of interest to them that they could contact you? So first of all, I'm going to put it in the notes below, but what is your website? And what do you have exciting coming up that some of the small business people or entrepreneurs might be interested in joining you with?
Momentum. I would love for them to check out Momentum. We do it Wednesdays, basically every Wednesday except for 1 week. So it's 3 times a month. Either 11 o'clock on Wednesday or 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. They can go. So my website's marshallstern.net because the .com has been taken by some comedian in Chicago, and then /momentum, or they can just check out the website.
Okay. And then they can always just send you an email or connect with you through the website. And then I don't know, maybe you'll let them come on board and just hang out for one of them and see if they're interested.
Yeah, they can come check it out. I just would love to have the conversation, just a chat. They can come. I have a Facebook group, the Business Inner Circle. They can come check that out. And we're there all the time, putting trainings in, and just check us out.
Okay, so final thoughts. Giving someone some business advice as someone who has sold their company and doing something on their own. What's your final thoughts?
The 3 biggest reasons, and I just did a workshop on this the other day. The 3 biggest reasons people fail to achieve their goals, because we're in a new year. And conversely, what would help would be, number 1, clarity. We need to be clear. Number 2, be laser focused on that clarity. So know why we do what we do and what we want, or what. Be focused and a consistent action. Consistency is the key, but you have to be focused and have the clarity.
I love it. And you are one of those people that can help them figure that out.
Possibly, yes.
Possibly. Well, Marshall, it was so nice talking with you today. I think you're incredible. I think you've done extremely well. You're a happy marriage. You've got 2 successful children, and you've got a successful company and just sold another one. So you're actually living the dream, man. That's awesome.
Thank you very much. Great meeting you as
Thank
well.
you. All right, we'll sign off from here, and we will chat with everyone next week.